What is going on, everybody? We are back with the review for Goosebumps' Cuckoo Clock of Doom. The show episode, not the book. So, as I've said for almost every episode and every review that we've gone over so far, I love Goosebumps as a whole. It is not only one of my favorite book series. I grew up reading it. I still think to this day the writing in it's pretty good. R.L. Stine does a fine job. He's good at telling a good story. On top of he's really good with like twists, surprise endings. I feel like this episode specifically just falls off for me overall. We're talking like, if I have to rate it, it's like a 3 out of 10. It has nothing to do with the kids that are acting. They all do a fine job. I despise the sister just as much as the kid does. The parents are irritating, but in the ways that they're supposed to be. I mean, they're parents. Everything ticks the boxes except for the story for me. And the story just drives me insane. So, first and foremost, you start off with the main kid walking down the street, and you know what? Before we get into that, I didn't go over the rest of the information. Cuckoo Clock of Doom is based off of the book number 28 in the series, The Cuckoo Clock of Doom. It was directed by John Bell. It was written by Billy Brown and Dan Angel, and it released November 3rd, 1995. Okay, so back to what I was saying. So it starts off, kid walking down the street, and his ball, he loses control of his ball. He chases it down into some trees. On his way back there, and after he gets his ball, he sees blood laying on the ground. He follows the blood trail, and when he gets to wherever it is that he's going, he gets scared by his sister. This is when you first meet her. She's a right butthole. One of the most annoying little sisters I've ever seen portrayed in a show and or movie, just being honest. And we then find out that she's the type of sister that she always plays pranks on her brothers to get everyone else to laugh. She makes fun of him. She gets him in trouble when he doesn't actually do anything. She pins things on him and he gets in trouble for it. She is just the worst. She completely ruined his birthday party. The girl that he likes was over. Got him a gift. It's not a CD that he really likes, but he thanked her for it. He made it seem like it was going to be real important to him. She calls him out for not liking the CD because he's had it before and he threw it out. But since she gave it to him, he's probably going to love it. She's just the worst. Dad brings home a cuckoo clock, and he's showing the kids the cuckoo clock. The boy overhears his dad scolding his sister late one night, and basically says, "Hey, look, I already told you don't touch the clock. If anything's broken on it, you're going to be in big trouble." The brother sees this as an opportunity to go and mess something up on the clock to get her in trouble. So what does he choose to do? He turns the head around. And this is where we start with what has got to be one of the most annoying parts of this story. So, as I explained when I was watching, or right before we were getting ready to watch the episode, one story trope I am not a fan of is time going backwards, because it is very rarely ever done correctly. The only time it has ever been done, in my opinion, somewhat correctly is Family Guy. There's an episode where Brian messes up the time machine, causes time to start going backwards, and Stewie and him are trying to fix it before Stu's unborn. The problem is with that, well, the good thing with that no one else ever seems to do, is time is legit going backwards, and it's speeding up, and you're watching people walk backwards. You're watching people move in a reverse fashion. You're watching wrecks unhappen, and it's just really cool how they played it out. Whereas this is done in a way that is just super irritating. And they have to do it this way because he's trying to find a way to fix the wrong that he created. So it's going backwards, but he wakes up a couple days before and it's his birthday again. Not only does he have, and this is what irritates me, not only does he have a chance to actually fix falling into the cake, he doesn't. It's he knows what's going to happen, and it still happens. He doesn't find a way to stop it. Time continues. Like, he then goes to the day, finds out that the cuckoo clock isn't there, starts to wonder what it is that he can do. So he's like, all right, you know what? Tomorrow I'm going to go down to the antique store. We're going to fix this. Next time he wakes up, he's 6 years old. He's a little kid. And at this point, he's like, what am I going to do? Like, I don't, I'm going to he realizes time's going backwards. Like, I'm going to disappear before this is all said and done. He runs away from his house party for his birthday party to go downtown and gets questioned by this dude, really creepy looking dude, which again, I've had happen to me. It's not a fun experience. And the shop ends up being closed. Again, he's 6 years old. He's moving around downtown on his own. It doesn't make sense. So he continues to move on, and his dad finds him there, takes him home. He gets home, goes to bed, wakes up, and he's a baby. A toddler. He's a toddler. And somehow his dad manages to, just so happens, oh hey, we're going to go to the antique shop because we have to, we want to go look around. Mom almost screwed up those plans, but Dad was like, no, we're going to go. They get to the antique shop. The clock is actually there. And the kid, is looking around for the clock, finds the clock. The parents just so happen to leave him alone to go walk all the way across the store, which no parent would do. No parent would leave their kid completely unattended in a weird part of the store where it's so far away from them that somebody kidnapped him. They were not going to be able to get to him in time. The kid gets out of the thing, manages to climb a bunch of stuff to get up to. Like, I'm sorry, toddlers are not that coordinated. I'm telling you this right now. He climbs all the way up to the clock. On the way up, kicks the date section that says 88 off of the clock by accident. The cuckoo head comes out. He manages to turn the head around and fixes it before the parents realize what's going on and they take him down. They don't even take him down. As soon as he turns the head and it fixes it, it's like he shows up and back to being 12 years old back in normal time. And he asks his parents, yo, what's going on? Where's Tara? I think her name was Tara. I could be wrong. Yeah, Tara. As it says right here. And they're like, oh, who's Tara? And he's like, what? She's my sister. She goes and looks in the study. Or in her bedroom, and it's still Dad's study. So all of a sudden, Tara no longer exists. And it's all because he kicked the 88 off the clock. And this is where another one of my problems lies, okay? If removing 88 off of the clock prevents Tara from being born, then it's got to also prevent anyone from remembering anything from 1988. Like, it's got to completely stop whatever everything happened in 1988 was, which means everything's different. Like, no one remembers anything. That's a whole year of everyone's life that there's no memory of anything that happened. Everything that you learned, everything. Like, there's just, it's, again, R.L. Stine did a fine job writing the story for kids. Kids aren't going to think this far ahead. This is more of a, as an adult, this episode irritates the fuck out of me. It just does. I cannot stand it. Again, we're talking 2 to 3 out of 10 type stuff. The story is just bleh. The acting's fine. Everything production wise, it looks good. As a matter of fact, John Bell does the next episode, which is The Girl Who Cried Monster. And I really like that one. So it's not the directing that's the problem. It's not the writing that's the problem. Dan Angel, who wrote this episode, helps write the next one. Again, it is just absolutely comes down to just the story itself. Not my cup of tea when it comes to Goosebumps stories. What are you scratching? Hi. Oh, that's your scratching post. Keep scratching. You're good. Anyways, that is going to do it for this review. This, I believe, is a Saturday that this is going to come out on. So, stay tuned. We got a fun treat for you tomorrow. We start a horror anthology from... I said a horror. Like they're not all horror anthologies. That's all we're covering here. It's a Korean horror anthology. So, be on the lookout for that. Love you guys. We'll see you there. Peace.